Now that you've chosen, what will you become?
I'm Demetrus. Thank you for coming to my channel and watching the video. I just wanted to share with you today my fishery slash oil manufacturing slash ichor recovery factory. It's a very efficient operation, and I thought I'd share it with you. It might be of use to someone. And it's a really super easy way to get pretty much unlimited oil and ichor where you don't have to go out into the world and farm it anymore. It's all manufactured right here, and it's a very efficient process. So let's go ahead and take a look. A bad day of fishing is better than a good day of work. Remember that. Okay, so here we have a sandstone foundation and construction. Simple, cheap, and you can build it pretty much anywhere. And the logic behind all this, the foundation on the base here, is that it puts everything on the same level, and it also makes it easy to run through the fish traps. There's about 120 fish traps in the water here. They only have to be partially submerged for them to work. And you can see that each trap catches 5 sockets worth of fish. Very straightforward. So let me show you my process. I'm just going to go and spam, F-key spam all of this. And I am set on an encumbrance build for full encumbrance, which makes this a whole lot less tedious to do. And just come over here. Just spamming the F key as I go by until it says I'm full. I think I'll get down 2 rows. Okay, there we go. I'm full. So I got about 2 2/3 rows, or 1 2/3 rows. And just come up here. And I give all. Now, let me show you something about this. These fish right here, actually, I want to take all of these unappetizing fish out, and I'll explain why in a minute. These fish right here, the exotic fish. I don't know any of the recipes that any of these fish are doing. I don't cook with fish. I don't know if it's a personal bias in my head. I don't like fish personally, so I don't mess with fish with any of the cooking. So I don't really know what recipes they're used in and how good they are in the recipes. But I do know how they function inside the fluid presses. These exotic fish, every 10 fish give you 1 oil. So it's a 10-to-1 ratio on the exotic fish. The next fish down in the group is called the savory fish. These give you 5-to-1 ratio of oil. So for every 5 fish, you get 1 oil. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this up with the rest of the big fat exotic fish. And I'm basically just going to fill all these up. I like to kind of keep them together. I don't know why, it's just my OCD. I like to not have them mixed up if I can avoid it. You don't have to start the fluid presses. You can see that they automatically start as soon as you put a fish in. Say they automatically start working, so you don't have to click any buttons to make it work. Now this process, this is the simplest, probably the most efficient maintenance or farming, at least for me, that I've noticed in Conan. Next to maybe the beehives. The beehives work automatically, and once they get filled up with honey, you don't have to put anything in them. They just automatically collect honey. That's the simplest. But this is pretty much the second simplest manufacturing that I could think of. And it's, like I said, very, very efficient. And you'll see how it's efficient once we get all of this done. And I'm going to speed through this because there's no point in really having you watch me do this all the way through. But on this one here, The unappetizing fish is the star of the show. That's a 1-to-1 ratio for oil. So for every 50 fish you put in there, you're going to get 50 oil. Extremely useful fish. See how quick these traps are? These are working without bait. Now if you put bait in them, they function about 10 times faster if you put bait in them. But without bait, they work automatically. It's just amazing. Okay, here we go. I'm going to come in here into the middle. Cook fires. If you put fish, all right, into the cook fires, I'm just going to do one. Then you're going to get, whoops, wrong button. When you turn it on, you're going to get a cooked fish, but you'll notice that for every cooked fish you get, for the unsavory fish, or is it unappetizing fish? For every unappetizing fish, for every one you cook, you get one ichor. That's a 1-to-1 ratio. That's pretty amazing. And an operation this large with this many fish, you're going to have, just after one go around of doing this, you're going to have so much ichor and oil that you're not going to need any, unless you have a huge manufacturing operation for stuff that you use that stuff for, you're not ever going to run out. So we're just going to let this run. When it's done, we'll put the rest of the fish in here just so we don't waste them. Now, you'll see all this oil, that's full. That one's full. This one's full. This one's full. This one's full. This is from 2 or maybe 3 cycles of production. So after these fish are done cooking, you're going to have these cooked fish. What's good about those is you take the cooked fish and you put them into a container. I just stick them usually in one of these. I'll have cook fires just full of cooked fish. You can either grab them off of the cook fire or you just leave them in the cook fire, but if you leave them in there, you can't use the cook fire. So that's why I have the chests. I'll put all the cooked fish into the chests because you're going to have a large quantity. You're going to have thousands of fish. I can't think of any other real use for them except for recipes, which I don't know. This is the best use. You stick them in a chest and you just let them ferment or spoil. And then after they spoil, you're going to have, of course, putrid meat. Now, what's good about putrid meat? Well, I'll show you. You take that putrid meat, you put it in a press, and you'll see that it will create, for every 50 putrid meat, it'll create 1 ichor. Ichor? 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 A couple different ways to pronounce it, I'm sure. It's a very horrible ratio, but when putrid meat is not many uses for putrid meat, so this is a good one, and it's all part of the process. So that makes the efficiency of this fishery manufacturing very, very good. Amazingly so, in my opinion. One of the most efficient things that I think you can build, at least in my own experience in Conan. I've only been playing a few months. But this is one of the most efficient in my experience. And there you have it. Very simple and straightforward. It's the fishery. I hope you like it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions, any comments, any ideas, or any information on fisheries or manufacturing that you have set up, I'd love to hear it. Please make some comments. If you feel like subscribing to the channel, please, by all means, click that button. Also, I'd like to say that I'm playing on a server called Vile Nation. It's run by a friend of mine, Vile Artist. Shout out. And we'd love to, we're recruiting or searching for new players. And we would love for you to stop by and check us out and come in and play. It's an open server, PvEC. I am here often, and if you have any questions, just give a shout out to me. My name is Demetrus, and you can see how it's spelled on the screen. Hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thanks for playing, and build.